To go live now. Here I am, live once again. Hi, folks. Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo, transformational astrology. But you know it's more than just astrology, right? We're talking about your awareness, your mojo mysticness, your ability to make a change, a transformation, however tiny, to make a huge difference in your life. And if you don't know me, perhaps you don't know that I say that the planets don't make you do anything, that we live in a cooperation with the cosmos, so that when the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, the planets reflect that in the heavens by way of aspects and angles. So basically, astrology tells you, what time is it? Is it time for a relationship, for healing, for finances, for spiritual growth, for backing away and having a little rest time? You know, sometimes it's a mix of things. Hey, show me who's here and what's your birthday. Hi, Jenny. Hey, Elizabeth. We've got Taurus here, Pisces. Well, you're going to love this show today. We are wrapping up that 4-part series that I was talking about. This is part 4. I was going a little bit more in depth by segregating the elements in astrology. So I've already done the fire signs, the earth signs, the air signs, and now today we're going to finish up with the water signs on the transiting Neptune to Jupiter. Now we're coming up on its 3rd and final pass for quite some time. The first one was in January 2019, second one in June, and now the third one coming up September 21st, 2019. Now, you may be listening to this in a replay and thinking, why do I need to know this? Well, the energy lasts all the way through approximately the 3rd week of October, but the definitions will apply. Your personal sun, rising, moon sign, water sign, or if you listen to the other replays, the earth, fire, and air, will apply throughout your entire life and what you're doing with yourself. Good morning. Jenny is a Pisces. Oh, so we have 2 Pisces. We have a Cancer rising. Who else is here? Come say hello to me. All right. So, before a little housekeeping before we get going, I am here now Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 10 a.m. until the clocks change, and then I'll let you know what goes on then. So please share the love, pass it on, let people know that I'm here. And let's see, what else did I want to say? How is everyone? How is everyone faring? How do you feel? What's your big issue? What's the greatest joy you've had in your life, especially after listening to this 4-part series? Well, today's the 4th part, but what's been going on? What's the part of you that is looking to move forward but can't seem to get past go? What's the part of you? Now, sometimes we have, and this is for all signs and all elements in astrology and for everyone, whether they follow astrology or not. But sometimes we work really hard at a thing, and we go, and we go, and we go, and we go, and nothing's happening. And nothing's happening. And we don't know why. And sometimes we have to step back and, the old saying, chop wood, carry water. Yeah. And that just means take care of the business at hand until the universe brings to you what you've been expecting on some level. Now, sometimes people say, I was not expecting to lose my job. Or I was not expecting to get divorced, or I was not expecting to get pregnant, or I was not expecting fill in the blank. We don't just operate from the mind, okay? Just remember that. We operate on so many levels. It is like what's behind me. Thank you, NASA. By the way, this is the NGC 4485 Galaxy. Good name, huh? Yeah. And we just don't know sometimes what we don't know. And so when you're working hard at manifesting something, you actually can if other things are in alignment, right? And then comes the stall, the delay, I don't know why it's not happening. I've been working so hard on this thing. Why isn't it working? right? So Cindy's here, Gemini, good morning. Vicky, Scorpio moon. Oh, you're going to love this one. Oh, Jenny, depressed? I'm sorry to hear that. And that's okay. You know, with this big Pisces full moon weekend we just had, and you are a Pisces. So there's a lot of undercurrent moving, always an undercurrent moving. So I want you to understand that this is part of how it is to be in the world, right? But we attach to every single thing that comes our way sometimes, and then it stops us from the path that we're on, the growth that we can have. And then we narrow focus into it didn't happen, or, oh my gosh, the best, most wonderful thing just happened to me in the world, and I want to share it. I'm so excited. It's so amazing. And then you're on a high. And then 3 weeks later, a month later, 6 months later, you're on a low. And then you're on a high. So we need to be careful of the waves. Be excited about whatever is happening. Be grateful in all moments, no matter what is happening. And we're going to mitigate the negative focus so we can expand on the positive focus in incremental ways that get you going to the next moment. It's all about a moment. Now, in my experience and in my opinion, a moment can last a week or, 6 hours or a month or a year. So what is the moment that you're in that stops you from being you? Well, we're going to talk about that today. Let's see who else is here. Jenny says, love. Yes, it's okay. We can bounce back always. And Lindsay, feeling great. Yay. Lindsay is a Taurus. Got nominated in the newspaper for best in the area at massage therapy. Well, that's amazing. Everybody, applause to Lindsay. Fantastic. That is great news. Yay. I have a new relationship with a business partner for book writing. And finally, I have a 3-hour interview on a podcast this Friday. All new stuff. This is what I'm talking about. So that's really exciting. I'm really happy and proud, fellow Taurian. Yay, hooray. So I want to be talking about so many things all the time, but I have to stick to my schedule so that I can make more content. I will also be eventually making more videos, and and I'm hoping that you're on my email list. And when I get done here, Mindy's here as well, and Pisces. Okay, so we got a lot of Pisces showing up. And welcome. Thank you for showing here. And so what I'm going to be doing are 1 minute Mystic Mojo minutes. Just little reminders of, hey, just in case you need a little universe in your cup. I'm going to be sending out 1 minute videos daily. We'll figure out all the logistics and email, yes, YouTube, yes, all that stuff. Okay, so we are talking about the transiting Neptune, not where Neptune is in your chart, but where it is now currently in the heavens. Neptune squaring Jupiter, both. Now, they are both in mutable signs. I'm going to be talking more about the elements in astrology so you can get a better understanding of your sun, rising, and moon sign. And the Neptune is in the sign of Pisces. That's a natural placement. Neptune guides Pisces in astrology. And so it makes it more potent. And it is a mutable sign, which means it can flow from one thing to the next. You can start a story and never put a period on the sentence and have covered 27 different topics. My parents both were Pisces. And so, it was very entertaining at holiday times. Also, Jupiter is in the sign of Sagittarius now. That is also a natural placement because Jupiter guides the sign of Sagittarius. So that's also a mutable sign, and it is looking for and searching for the truth at all times. Not really. It doesn't do anything. That is what it represents in you. Okay? So what we're looking at now, we're working with the water signs today in this, the last of the 4-part series. Now, just a little reminder, in case you need a refresher, Neptune represents unfinished business on Earth. It's like the energy of Neptune is nebulous, it's mystical, magical, addictive. It gets swayed easily. It's like living in the fairy forest where 5 minutes becomes 7 years. Or it's focused on film, television, fashion, equestrian energy as well, healing with horses. And it's a very spiritual, mystical energy. But sometimes Neptune and Pisces have the blinders on because some things are just too ornery or ugly to look at in this world. So, and this is the example I use. It's just so fitting. Pisces is in a beautiful building and admiring the architecture. And behind them is Scorpio and Cancer pushing them out the door because the building's on fire. But it's like the architecture is just so exquisite, but they don't want to look at the ugliness. Now, who does? But different signs handle it differently. But the poeticism, the piety, the dedication toward a cause, ideal vision is what Neptune is all about, and Pisces. So you want to create that ideal vision and then put it into motion, into the world. But it's like to see beyond the mist for Neptune. What was the spiritual promise when you were just in spirit? And that's for everyone, because Neptune represents your unfinished business on Earth, no matter what your sign or rising sign or moon sign. But what was the spiritual promise now becomes the earthly illusion. I can't seem to grasp it. Where is it? This was my promise. I was supposed to do this thing. How come I can't get started? Or how come I keep getting thwarted or delayed? So that's what we're looking at today. Okay, and then Jupiter represents absolute expansion. Ta-da! Publishing, travel, science as well, scientific achievements in medicine, and people who are either very cynical or very spiritual or religious. So I've known Sages in my family as friends, Sag risings, Sag clients, Sag rising, and it's either the blunt search for truth, and that entails one lived in an ashram, one had different spiritual practices, one also was involved in computer advancement with Steve Jobs, right? Another a photographer, another constantly having different modalities brought into their home for their friends to experience. So it's the cultural thing. It's the expansive thing. It's let's not judge. Let's not judge. But with Neptune square Jupiter, oh yeah, we are going to judge. And does that make sense? And the reason why is because the search for truth entails not blind faith, but sometimes it does, but not just these are the facts and then not looking at other people's experiences. So it's, the word dichotomy comes to mind. I used to use it all the time, but okay. Now, there's a little bit of instability. So let's look at water signs, sun sign, rising sign, and moon signs, and what you can do to help yourself. And I'm going to look at this by way of houses in astrology. Now, we're looking at Cancer, sun, rising, and moon, Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon, and of course, Pisces, sun, rising, and moon. So, Jenny says, I'm married to a Sag. I hope you love it. I hope you love him. Oh, it's a plus thing. Hey, Lori's here too. Okay, so let's start with Cancer. Cancer, sun, rising, and moon. We are looking at, when you can firm up, we're looking at houses 9 and 6. Okay, so when you can firm up your belief system, the type of contracts you want to be involved in, and or what type of travel you want to do, what's worth your time and effort. When you really move into a higher plane of thinking, and this is also about education, higher education, not, taking a course in something and then, oh, that was fun. This is ready to go to the next level of what's appropriate for you, either in business, contractually, Cancer, sun, rising, and moon, or what you really believe. And sometimes, you know, you might say, oh yeah, you know, I've got this degree, I didn't use it, so I studied this, and now I'm working on this, and I'm happy. Sometimes Cancer takes on, and I think this is true of so many signs, but Cancer being a cardinal sign takes on too much for the sake of protecting others. And it's almost like policing. It's like, oh, I see what you need. Here's what you need. Go do this, this, and this, and it'll all get done. But yet, when they focus on themselves, they're still the only one in the show. It's like they need help. So we could look at Cancer and say, I see, you need this, this, and this. But sometimes in their protective shell, they don't want to hear that because it would mean too much feeling, too much transition, too much overwhelm. And if not overwhelm, then the excitement to get it all done and then get scattered and not really finish anything. So what happens is for Cancer with this Cancer sun, rising, and moon, what happens with this particular aspect, when you finish up the karma that deals with, I have a project, or I signed a contract, or I committed to buying property internationally, or I'm ready to, you know, create a different course curriculum. Maybe you're a professor or a teacher, and put that into the world. But you want to have it be marketed well and expressed well, and looking at the bigger picture by standing back. So when you start to deal with that, you're going to touch on all beliefs. Oh, they don't want this. You know, there's 20,000 million of these things in the world. Why do I need to market? You know, well, how do you know? Have you done your market research? What's the return on investment? What are you ready to invest in now, aside from yourself, which needs to be foremost and number one, right? So Cancer, sun, rising, and moon, I think it's important that for your work health and health, your 6 is the house of health, but also work, productivity, and calling in markers. The people you've already worked with, the people you have set up some type of healthy relationship with in the past, who can now come back and give you advice, or could come back now and give you an open door, maybe a warm introduction to something else. And maybe it's to a healing facilitator. Maybe it's to how to run your business a little differently. And so you might be coming to a point of, okay, this is my overwhelm season. Okay, this is the place and time where I got to do all the work because, you know, it takes more time to train somebody. So does that make sense? You want to stop looking at the negatives and being exasperated and focus on how will you allow yourself to be educated so that your body doesn't suffer, so that you stay in a healing place while you're doing the work that you're doing. Okay, does that make sense? That your health and your work will prosper when you get that belief system down. Cancer, sun, rising, and moon. When you realize that, remember, the house 9 is about your spiritual, bringing your spiritual experience in practical ways that can help you to expand in order to service others. So it's not just, oh, you know, I want to sell crystals and I'm going to go to the market. I'm going to go to all the crystal shows around the country and I'm going to buy up all the crystals and then I'm going to open a store. Okay, cool. So what else do you want to do? This is also about publishing, advertising, marketing, collaboration, joint ventures. So again, we are, if you've got sun, rising, or moon, who was it? Lindsay has a Cancer moon or rising? I missed. Oh, Cancer rising. Okay, so this is about collaboration. This is about setting up a structure for the long-term ideal vision. All right? Cancer, sun, rising, moon. And when you do that, your health improves. Bonus. Sip of the universe time. Oh, I'm filled with joy. Joy? Where has she been? Here now. Hey, Leah's here too. Jenny says, met her husband when I was 7. What? And it's a negatory? Can we expand on that word, the negatory? I'm 45 now, and it's a negatory. That's a great word. Is it obligatory as well? Is it a negatory? Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Okay, so houses 5 and 2. What are we looking at? When you can organize, well, let's call it your ideas around romance, creativity, children, teaching, Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon, ideal clients as well, risk-taking. Your karma with romantic relationships is being put in the spotlight right now. And it doesn't mean so much so that the person you're with is karmic. It could be. It could very well be. But because of that, it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, you're mated and it's going to be forever. But it could be. Okay? It depends on the individual and what you're looking at, what your rising sign is. And your specific karma. But karma is merely balancing of energy, folks. It's not good or bad. So if you have a habit of being with someone for certain reasons and then behaving a certain way with that person, Scorpio, sun, rising, or moon, it can mean now there has to be a different approach, a more creative approach, a more playful approach to how to be in a relationship in the romantic sense. Now, this applies, minus the romance, this applies to creative projects. How do you want to create? How do you want to express yourself? Now, the Neptune energy is very magical and romantic. And sometimes a Scorpio energy depends on where the placement is. Scorpio sun, it's, oh yeah, you know what? My romance has ended and I lost myself. Or I want that person and I'm going to get them no matter what. Scorpio rising is more like that. You know, we've got a project, we've got a time, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do. So, and then Scorpio moon is, I'm so angry and you may not know it. And so you attract anger to you. Or you attract disappointment to you. Now, on the flip side, Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon, when this gets organized, house 5, with being creative, being more playful, not having to schedule things, not having to be so strict or intense about things with kids, with romance, with your projects, what opens up is number 2. And that is your financial awareness. Your financial awareness can be, I'm worth more, and then you charge what you're worth. Or your financial awareness can be, I want to invest in that for myself because I value it, because my self-worth is worth it. Does that make sense? Can we get a show of hands on the Scorpio contingency? I'm going to take another sip of the universe. Just got a power pack of our own solar system right there. Okay, so a huge return on investment, your ROI, Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon, occurs when you're willing to put a more creative sense and take suggestions from others and then apply them in practical ways so that you can have the results that you want. All right? So self-worth is top of the list. That's what opens, okay? So when you heal the 5th house information, children, romance, creativity, projects, risk-taking, playful. Now, maybe you're way too playful and you play the field way too much and you're breaking hearts left and right. Well, aren't you powerful? But maybe you're thinking, I want to settle down. This person in my life now I think I can trust. Did I just hit on the big one? Yeah, it's about trust. And when you start to trust the relationship you're in, you start to share more of yourself. And what happens is then remember, when you start to heal what's going on in 5, the house 5, romance, creativity, play, children. Now, maybe you play way too much and you drink way too much, or you take on way too many another vacation? Sure, let's go do it. And then suddenly the bills start to pile up, because we're looking at your financial sector, which is house 2, Scorpio, sun, rising, and moon. And we're looking at, with this angle, Jupiter square Neptune, and we're looking at how you handle play. Do you know when to stop? You might not know. Right? Or let's say your sexual world is so free that you're not using protection. So you have to be careful. Or let's say that you want to put all your time, energy, and money into a project that you're creating, Scorpio, sun, rising, or moon, and it's your baby, because this is the house of children and projects, and this is your baby. And you're almost attached, you're almost obsessed. You have to value your own time, energy, and resources. Now, what are resources? You have to account for yourself. Like, what's a resource for me? It could be suggestions from others. Could be I take a percentage of what I earn and I don't touch it. And I put it in the bank. And I pay myself first. And then I take another percentage and put it toward that creative project. But I need to have boundaries around that. What it's spent on. I need an accounting. I need to understand where the money's going. Okay? Because and if you're investing with a romantic partner or a lover, then you really need accounting, both financial and behavioral. All right, keep things in check. Make sure this happens, because then when you are able to heal this part of your world and to pay more attention to the children, and the children can be 30, age 32, it doesn't have to be an infant. Your children, your grandchildren, the children you are teaching, the children that you are teaching by example. Okay, so when you start to heal that relationship to house 5 and how you trust yourself and others with intimacy, into me you see, and setting those boundaries, then your value system goes up. Your inner worth becomes this place of, I am worth more. I do deserve. And it's not an arrogant place of, hey, I deserve that and you better give it to me. Because we don't come by things naturally via force. We don't. Does that make sense? So self-worth and value grow, including income, when you start to heal that lack of trust with parenting, with lovers, with business projects, with creative expression. Okay. Woo! Hey, Dean, if you're reading the comment section, Annie is saying that she and Barry cannot get on. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm not sure what the problem is. Dean, maybe you can help with that? I don't know. Give a suggestion. Okay. Who else is here? Come say hello to me. And when's your birthday? Next, we have Pisces, sun, rising, and moon. All right. Now, the 2 houses that are involved in Pisces are House 1 is where the karma is happening, and then House 10, which deals with masculine parent, career, life direction, and your notoriety. We can call it that. Your notoriety, and also your ability to either release the deal with the masculine parent, or recognize at least the moments that you emulate this person, whether they are still here on this earth or off planet. And if it's not a positive behavior, let that go. So let's talk about House 1. Now, house 1 for Pisces, Pisces sun, rising, and moon, is all about independence, your personal self, your actual body parts, and your self-image, and also who you project as an individual. Okay? That's house 1. And literally, because Neptune is there in Pisces for you, Pisces sun, rising, moon, what it represents is coming out of the clouds, or the illusion, or the mist, or the addiction, or that false assuredness. Okay, false assuredness is, oh yeah, I've been going to this restaurant for 20 years, and they always give me the best, and they always give me the best deal, and yet their service has declined, and they really don't give you the best deal. It's just that you have an attachment to wanting it to be a certain way. Or you're in a relationship and you're saying, well, we've been business partners, or we've been married for 100 years. Of course we're going to stay married. Of course we're my parents, both Pisces, extreme as the symbol of Pisces is a fish swimming in opposite and different directions, north and south. And so sometimes they would get along wonderfully, and other times completely opposite spectrum, day and night, literally. And I mean, my mom had a day job, my father had a night job. My mom was like, the army sergeant. My father was like the playmate. And so when you are looking now, Pisces sun, rising, and moon, when you're looking at clearing up this karma that you have about your own identity, it's about looking at your ideal vision. What's your ideal vision? Because if you have any illusion around that, like, oh, I don't have enough money, or I'm not smart enough, or yeah, I wanted to, write music and or play an instrument, or write a book, or I wanted to, be a professor. I wanted to be a healer, a healing facilitator. Really, nobody can heal you without your permission. So when people say they're healers, that's a whole other topic. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you wanted something so badly, but yet the illusion was, I don't know enough. It's too late. I'm not ready. My timing is off. It's not going to work. I'm out of shape. It's just a luck of the draw. My input has no effect. All these negatives, because Neptune energy can be very pessimistic and cynical and very negative. So we have to be careful, Pisces sun, rising, and moon, or it's the opposite. It's like, oh, I want this thing and I am going to be a Broadway star. And then you watch every Broadway musical ever, and you eat all the snacks and you save all the playbills, but you never once write a sentence. You never once take an acting class. So it's the illusion of, it's like the glamour, the fairy, Feywood, fairy forest glamour, that it can happen or it will never happen. That I'm so magical and mystical and it'll just all happen, or it's never going to happen and I have no control. So we want to go somewhere in between that medium and start looking at, what is your greatest joy, Pisces sun, rising, and moon? This is about independence. What do you want to be doing? The how will come to you. You might say, oh, I just love photography, or I want to work with, equine healers, and, or I'm developing my own brand of perfume, or based on herbal essences and tinctures, and, so whatever it is you want to do, make sure you get clear on it before you talk yourself out of it, before you even get going. Because all too often it's, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then this isn't happening, and that's not happening. I might as well just, serve dinner to my family and, pay the bills and get it done. And before you know it, you're 87 years old. And you're like, well, that was my dream. No, it didn't have to be. No, it doesn't. So house 1, Pisces, sun, rising, and moon, deals with your independence. Now, if you are addicted to a person who is addicted, you need some counseling. If you are addicted to something, you need some counseling. And I mean, not just, oh, I love movies, you know. I'm talking about substance, where your health is at risk. I'm talking about where your lifestyle is limited because of the denial. You know, I love this person. I know someone who is a Pisces moon, and their spouse is pretty big time rageaholic, and, you know, has tuned out the sound just to make do. That's not a life. That's kind of sad. And there is help available. No matter what you think the trauma is, no matter what the trauma has been, no matter where you want to go from this point, there is help. You just have to be open to it, right? So independence, Pisces, sun, rising, and moon, occurs when you, and this is karmic. This is not your first lifetime around this block with this information. And it can mean that you are addicted to a substance. It can mean that you have the illusion of, oh, I want to do this, this, and this, and you never commit to something and follow through. So now it's about following through to save your health, save your awareness, your identity, to really be that special, unique person that you are in the world and let people see you. Now, sometimes this deals with magical, mystical, and dramatic arts. So it can mean you're behind the scenes. That's okay. You don't have to stand on stage. As a writer, as a performer, you could be the one writing the songs. You could be the one making it happen where nobody sees except, or the illusion. You could be a magician. You could be an artist. And no one actually sees you. They see the outcome. And it's transformative for other people. So remember, these two houses are one, that is your personal identity. And right now we're looking at Pisces there, which means illusion or addiction. Or we're looking at really moving that art sense, that magical sense that I trust in something greater than myself. And I am going to use, and it can be religious, it can be spiritual, whatever works for you. And I am going to trust in that so I can build house 10. Now, house 10 deals with moving forward, your life direction. So your life is kind of on hold right now, Pisces, sun, rising, and moon. Also, depending on the other aspects and the other elements that we already have talked about. So when you're looking at this, you might be wondering, I'm retired, or I want to retire, or I don't work. I just raised the kids and now I've got the grandkids, or, you know, but it's still about your life direction. Does that make sense? Your direction in life is based upon your independence. That's bottom line. And your independence means you need to get clear and sober in a very straightforward way about how would you like to proceed from here. Now, if you've got a masculine parent living or off planet, either one, and you still have issues, and by this information, it can mean maybe they wrote something and you have to measure up. Maybe they wrote a book and you can't seem to keep up, or maybe they weren't there because they were always working. They might have been a great person, but you didn't really have a relationship with them. You know, if my father were here right now, I'd be talking to my dad in this way. Your father died when he was 55. And he was a sweet, kind man. And you pretty much had to parent yourself and take care of your mother. And so then, you know, there was a whole lot of energy around this parent who was absent. Who, you know, so the absent part, you can be present in a room, right? Pisces, sun, rising, and moon. You could be present in a room, but be absent. You're just not involved, you're not participating, you're not connected, you're detached. So you want to look at your career right now, Pisces, sun, rising, and moon. And also, how do you want to put magic, spirituality, ideal vision into the world instead of detachment, illusion, addiction, negativity, and a feeling of victimization. That's what we want to move away from. So as you gain your independence, you open doors to your life direction. Does that make sense? Thumbs up, hello, anybody respond, let me know. I'm going to take another sip and I will pull a happy card since other people were asking for them the other day. And you know, it doesn't matter your sign, your rising sign. When it comes down to it, you are what you believe you are. And looking at these clues that I've been talking about in this 4-part series is really being present and being honest with yourself and then going, oh, darn. You know, I took my own advice for the Capricorn rising, Leo moon, Taurus sun, and I'm already feeling the effects. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more focused. Now, this angle is exact. Oh, I want to show you very quickly what this looks like in a screenshot. Okay, so you'll see what looks like a green number 4 in Sagittarius, and it's squaring a red square to wrong way. I gotta go that way. Neptune in Pisces. Now, Neptune's at 17 degrees and Jupiter is at 16 degrees by the 21st of September 2019. It will be exact. And then by an entire month later, in October, it will be just moving out of 4 degrees range. So we're still going to be feeling this all through October, folks. So this isn't just not for, you know, this week, this month. So you have a lot of time to work on this, to listen to these recordings again. And these shows are meant to help you become more aware of who you are now, who you'd like to be, who you can't seem to get to in yourself because of whatever limitations. And we all have them, you know, and it's not about blame. It's not, oh, my father did that or my grandmother did this. And, you know, they may have done certain things because that's who they were, but now who are you? And how would you like to deal with this information? Let's get clear on your power and your ability to make one tiny transformation over time that equals one huge change. That's your quantum leap. That is dramatic, right? And I'm excited for you because I know that you can do this. So, any comments? Any questions about this? I hope this was clear. Now, there is a 10-second delay, so I will just take another sip of the universe and wait for your wise input. And I'll pull a happy card. And I'm pulling in and asking across all benevolent beings on and off planet to help us get clear for the water signs, sun, rising, and moon, on something that they might need to know to help them through this Jupiter square Neptune angle. Oopsie. These, oh my goodness. It's like 3 all at once. Okay. All right. So, number 1, Pisces sun, rising, and moon. Set your intention. Can you see that? Set your intention to be clear, to be focused, to trust, to let go of the negativity, the victimization, whatever emotional, chemical, physical, intellectual addiction that you have, to any illusion, so that you can be very real about who you are. And then the second card was desire. What do you desire? What do you really want? What's in your heart of hearts? And are you able to turn it around? I think you can. Through, where's your inspiration? Where's it come from? Your inspiration, I would say, and this is for everyone, your inspiration is internal. It's external. It's everywhere you need it to be, because we are pure conscious love. We are supported by a benevolent universe and by the NGC 4485 galaxies. Right? Yes, Christine says, even if it's only a quantum dribble in the right direction. That's right. Well, quantum means tiny, 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 tiny. Tiny, 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 incrementally focus on something new, something positive, something inner. If you're always directed outward, focus inward. Create the harmony so that it's not always about them or it's not always about you, right? That's it. And Sasha says, hey, Elaine, I've been waiting for the water signs Pisces sun. Yay. Well, I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope that you'll be able to use this information and make those tiny changes over time. All right. I will be back again, of course. Oh, and let me just say here, I'll post this. We are going to be uploading more videos to YouTube. So you can subscribe, and then you'll see a little bell. When you click that, you'll be getting notified of fresh content that we upload. This was very empowering for me, because breaking it up into elements, and I'm going to be talking more about the actual astrological elements in the weeks to come, alongside other angles and aspects that are happening in astrology, just so you get a better idea of what to look for your sun, rising, and moon sign. Oh, and also, and let me grab this, you can also, if you don't have your chart, you can get your complimentary birth chart. And also with that comes a sun sign reading I made just for your sun sign. So I'll post that. There you go. You've got that. Lovely. Beautiful. Feeling great? Feeling happy? Forget your troubles. Come on, get happy. All right, I'll be back on Thursday. Share the love, spread the word, let everybody know. In the meantime, be as present as possible. You are pure conscious love. What do you want to do with it? Oh, you can do anything. Oh, Sasha says, yes, ma'am, I'll be rewatching today's live for sure. Okay, great. So catch all the replays, because your sun, rising, and moon are going to be in all of those shows. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and I wish you peace as always. I'll see you again on Thursday.